Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Shy Anime channel. In the world of My Hero Academia, there are always two sides to everything. For instance, for every guy who has 2 cartons of milk, there's a guy who has none. For every number 1 student, there's someone at the bottom of the class. And naturally, for every genius, there has to be an idiot. Otherwise, how would we have a basis for comparison, right? Alongside the lineup of badass villains like Overhaul, or the 300 IQ criminal mastermind allforone who's always one step ahead of the heroes, we also get stuck with criminals whose IQs are inversely proportional to those top-tier bodies. Today, join me as we count down the top 10 dumbest villains in My Hero Academia.
10. Tesla. First up, we have Tesla. Seriously, using the name of a world-renowned genius as your villain nickname? That's already a minus 100 brain cells move right there, folks. This guy appeared pretty early on, so many of you might have forgotten him. His quirk is similar to Class 1A's Discount Pikachu, Kaminari, electricity. Of course, his is way weaker. His power is pathetic, and he just accepts his role as fodder. Tesla didn't get much screen time, but what we saw was enough to showcase this guy's stupidity. Of all the students he could have taken hostage during the UA invasion, Tesla decides to grab Denki, someone with the exact same quirk. Seriously, what the... if their quirks are the same, shouldn't he have, anticipated that Denki would have electricity resistance? What was his plan after capturing him? Recharge him? And so, despite his limited screen time, this Tesla dude proved his brain deserved a spot on this list.
9. Muscular. Next up, we have Muscular. The name says it all. Unlike the guy above who's just naturally dumb, this guy chooses to be dumb. His nickname Muscular just confirms that he lives by the motto, all brawn, no brain. He loves to just charge straight at the enemy and punch everything until he's knocked out. My plan? My plan is that I have no fucking plan. But he's lucky his quirk perfectly supports that berserker personality. It was thanks to this aggressive, zero-brain strategy that Muscular pushed Deku past his limits before the kid could talk sense into him. Because of this, he's often sent in as the vanguard. Want a challenge? Do it. Want to be intense? Do it. But it's also because of his muscle brain that when he showed up again in Season 6, he hadn't gotten any smarter. The end result? He got KO'd by Deku, using 40%, serving as a stepping stone to show off Deku's overwhelming power against common criminals.
8. Soramitsu Tabe. Next is Soramitsu Tabe. This guy is the definition of carried by his quirk, and nothing more. Tabe was blessed with a digestion quirk and a chomping mouth that seems like it's never been muzzled, capable of tearing through any solid matter. So his entire concept style is just eat, and digest everything because his quirk allows it. But because he relies so heavily on his eat-the-whole-world mouth, this ultimate food reviewer just rushes in like a total no-brainer even though besides his mouth, his body is just that of a normal person. The best example? When Aizawa erased his quirk, all it took was one tap from Sensei and this guy was done for. Honestly, I don't have many reasons to trash this guy because he even admits he's the bottom of society, so what's there to say?
7. Kendo Rappa. At number 7, we have Kendo Rappa. To be honest, I'm a bit conflicted about this guy, because I don't know whether to call him honorable or just plain stupid. He'd be an amazing role model if he were on the hero team, folks, but unfortunately, buddy, you picked the wrong side, Kendo. Instead of ganging up on enemies like villains usually do, this guy insists everyone put down their weapons and have a 1v1 brawl. And his quirk is perfect for that, letting him pummel his opponents in seconds. A quirk perfectly suited for dueling. Because of this, he's obsessed with finding an opponent for a fair fight, regardless of whether that person is a hero and his mission is to stop them. Kendo even goes as far as punching his own teammates when they try to cover him. I can't even, seriously. So, from one perspective, he's a respectable but misguided foe. But if he was on my team, I'd smash that vote kick button immediately. He's a total liability.
Number 6. Mustard. At number 6, we have Mustard. Simply put, his quirk is also harmful via the nose, and it's very strong.
In the Bakugo retrieval arc, he was supposed to be a massive sleeping bomb, controlling the entire area. But something's wrong with this picture. Instead of staying in the backline and waiting for the mist to spread, he charges straight into the center of the action. He struts around like, I'm the final boss, despite having a body so weak he has to carry a handgun for self-defense. In a world of superpowered people flying, exploding, and whatnot, this guy with a body as weak as a snail. What the hell is he doing charging to the front lines? I have no idea. He really thought he was hot stuff with that pistol. And just as I predicted, he got his face rocked by Tetsu. Because as soon as someone gets close, he's nothing but a fish on a chopping block.
5. Moonfish. We don't have much backstory on this villain other than his quirk. Make teeth long. From his fighting style, we can pretty much guess his IQ. You can see his power has massive, destructive AoE potential, as teeth are an incredibly hard part of the human body. However, instead of thinking up any cool tricks to do with this power, Moonfish just stands in one place and unleashes it. That's literally it. He just stands there stock still, letting his teeth grow to attack the enemy. Take it or leave it. There is no planning, no baiting, no luring, no movement whatsoever. Once an opponent figures out how he swings his tusks, they can easily dodge and counter him. He looks intimidating, sure, but his main function is just crowd dispersal, folks.
4. Spinner. At number 4, we have Spinner. This guy. Man, he's just so useless. He holds the title of one of the leaders of the Paranormal Liberation Front, but his list of achievements is basically 0. In terms of impact, he's less effective than NPCs like Muscle Brain Muscular. His lizard quirk doesn't really do much to help. The giant sword he carried, it got broken. And not only is he useless, he even griefs his own team. When Shigaraki wanted to hunt down Deku, this guy stopped him because of Stain's ideals, arguing Deku was a true hero. Meanwhile, my guy's on the villain team. It was only after allforone smacked some sense into him by giving him a quirk that he became slightly useful and went to rescue Kurogiri. That is probably his single greatest achievement, not to mention he was defeated by 2 minor Class 1A members before. So it's a classic case of holding a manager's title with intern-level skills. And if he hadn't succeeded in rescuing Kurogiri, the shame would have been unbearable. He fully deserves a spot on this list.
3. Magne. It's pretty unlucky for Magne that she was used as a sacrificial pawn in the alliance between Shigaraki and Overhaul. To be honest, I was initially very impressed with her hand-to-hand combat skills, which have nothing to do with her quirk. Magne's quirk just pulls 2 people together. But in the straight 1v1, she could even go toe-to-toe with Tiger. However, because she had more crazy than brains, she had to die in the most brutal way during the Overhaul arc. One disagreement, and she immediately rushed in to punch the other side's boss, Overhaul. The result? She was turned into a firework, serving as a bloody warning to the League, and her role ended right there.
2. Geten. In the runner-up spot, we have Geten. He's from a bloodline related to Rei and Endeavor, the Todoroki family. But Geten is almost completely unable to utilize or develop his full power. The ability to create massive amounts of ice and snow. You all saw how terrifying it was when he fought Shoto. Shoto is always studying and researching, utilizing his quirk to its fullest. As for Geten, he relies entirely on his raw power with 0 intention of developing it. And it's not like his quirk is trash. On the contrary, this power is insanely OP. Unfortunately, Geten doesn't realize that. When he unleashed all his power and the enemy Dabi didn't seem bothered, he dipped. That's right, he ran away like a coward without any explanation. It's just sad to watch. No wonder he's just a third-rate villain. He looked pretty cool later when his face was revealed, but I just can't be a fan.
Number 1. Gigantomachia. And finally, we have Gigantomachia. In My Hero Academia, when you talk about earth-shattering power, literally, you have to mention this walking war machine, this giant monster. He is one of All-for-One's trump cards. Devastation, destruction, rampage. These words basically sum up a monster like him. His physical body alone makes him incredibly difficult for the heroes to capture. For them, just restraining or subduing Machia is a victory, let alone defeating him. Luckily for humanity, in direct contrast to his unbelievable power, his mind isn't very sharp. It's like he dumped all his stat points from IQ into strength, so his brain is basically just at the level of a beast loyal to its master. All for one.
However, even a beast that's been abandoned for a long time can harbor its own resentment, which led to the betraying his master incident. Because according to Shinso, he and Deku were the two people who could escape his brainwashing quirk. Obviously, excluding big bosses like Tamura and All for One. From this, we can get a sense of how unshakable Gigantomachia's will is, but that will is only so strong because of the simplicity of his thoughts. So I don't know if we should call him dumb or just simple-minded. But as Hawk said, nobody wants to hear a monster's sad backstory anyway.
All right, that was our list of the top 10 dumbest villains in My Hero Academia. What do you guys think? Is this ranking fair? Did we miss anyone? Let me know down in the comments. And as always, we'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button, share, and subscribe to the channel. For now, goodbye and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.